Let's get into this first clip where we have Aaron coming up, I believe, who sent revenge porn to someone, and revenge porn being that if you had any type of pornography, any type of pictures of your wife, your girlfriend, and you send them to someone else, in most states it's against the law. So apparently that's what occurred. But this is what occurred when I guess this is his former wife, very beautiful girl. And when I say to girls, don't get tattoos, I mean, if you're talking about mental illness and tattoos, but I'll say this. It is hot if a girl would ever tattoo your name or some type of a symbol of you onto her. But for the most part, except for that, tattoos generally will indicate to us that the girl has some mental issue, but it also will guarantee that she's amazing in bed. She's going to be amazing initially, but in the end, she will end up keying your car, trashing you, and you're going to end up in divorce court. And this goes for women without tattoos, whether you have tattoos or not. When you decide to have kids and you decide to get divorced, you will send in the clowns. And when I say send in the clowns, that means that you're going to get on the offensive to someone that gave birth to your child, taking care of your child. For the men, the women that attacked the men during divorce, they supported that entire family, gave them food, shelter, and what do? They air all their grievances out in public. Send in the clowns when you go into divorce court, and it's nasty too. It's dumb, but this girl right here, I mean, look at the face structure. Beautiful. Beautiful body, fit, beautiful hair. She doesn't cut her bangs. She has everything going for her except for tattoos, obviously, and something happened in her childhood that renders her this mental case. And I'm not saying that she's a bad person, and I don't even know if what I'm saying is accurate, but I just use these indicators. If you don't have these indicators, then what are you going to do in life? And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I move on, and I avoided this situation. But let's get into this guy, I guess, was commenting on his former wife. Now, I don't know if they have kids together. I don't know anything about these two, besides the fact that she's very good looking.
Adjourned. Thank you.
Show us how those tits are, April.
So in the Zoom hearing that they had, some guy went in there and said, show us how those tits are. And look how happy this guy is. And this is what happens in divorce court. This is a family. I don't know if they have kids. So if they don't have kids, then I don't even know why you got married. If you're married right now and you have no kids, you're dumb. It's absolutely retarded to get married. It's not worth it. But if you have kids, you're married, you stay together, and you raise your offspring. No one gives a fuck about your offspring except for the biological parents. And that's a fact. And a lot of these women, when they get older, all of a sudden they see guys treating them nicer. Oh, this guy's so much nicer than my husband is. Yeah, well, that guy just wants to bang you. And it'll be great for a few months. I know, it'll be amazing. The best time in your life. But ultimately, that guy doesn't give a shit about your kids. Almost all the time when we're watching any type of murder shows, you can link it right back to divorce. And I know my parents got divorced when I was older, and it still affects everybody. I mean, luckily I was raised for the most part. And now that I have a Jamaican mom, and my mom was 1/18th black, or 1/17th, because I'm 1/17th black. She was something like 1/9 black. But either way, I get to get exposed to the Jamaican culture. I can make all the Jamaican jokes I want. But either way, coming into this type of situation, now you're looking at a divorce. And look at this guy. Look at this big dope putting this on the air, airing his grievances out there. So happy that someone did that to her. It's so lame to begin with. And this girl, as much as I was saying how she had tattoos because someone told me, she's handling herself professionally, at least in this situation. I don't know why she's in here, but this is the end of the Zoom call. Send in the clowns when you get into divorce court. Send in the clowns.
Okay, wait a minute. Show us. Now, people have said that they're saying, show us how them tits fart. I don't think that's what he said. Let's listen to this like the Zapruder film 900 goddamn times.
Show us how those tits are, April.
You can get the thing where like both of your chests like are pooling with sweat and then they rub and you get kind of that kind of sound or that kind of sound. But is that really a tit fart or is that more of a sweat smack kind of a thing? Like April's like, haha, they're talking about my tits. Like April is kind of an exhibitionist. Like she kind of likes that people, strangers, like weird, creepy strangers think about her tits. I think that's a...
Yeah, why don't you just air all of your private fantasies and all your sexuality that you had with your ex-wife? I'm assuming this is the ex-wife. But to me, the guy's got a great voice. I'll give him that. Great cadence, great tempo. I don't know if he's been on radio or not, but he definitely has a voice for radio. I don't know.
Low self-esteem thing. And so someone like yelling about her tits, like, even though this went horrible for me and I have to go omnibussing and I can't do drugs or drink. Somebody said something about my tits.
That's not me.
Oh,
That's,
well,
like,
she did click off right away, so there is that. Maybe she didn't like the tit fart.
Show us how those tits fart, April.
The lawyer is just sitting there going,
no, I don't mind people pranking a Zoom call. I think it's great. And during the pandemic, obviously, everyone was using Zoom, but be careful. A lot of those Zoom calls that they say are people hooking up, going to bed, a lot of them are fake and staged. But here, someone's really doing this. And if the courts want to open up their proceedings via Zoom, then these dopes got to realize that people can do it. You have that right to do it, I guess. I don't think there's any crime against it. But why are you putting down your former wife, if you're divorced, in this situation? You look so bad doing it, and it doesn't get you anywhere in terms of entertainment. You didn't see Howard Stern parading his divorce through the tabloids.
Fuck.
And again, that haha is not me. I don't know who put that in.
How nice was Kayla's
Oh, this is from Dabblers Anonymous, not on Reddit, on YouTube.
rack? She was beautiful.
But the tattoo on the right tit. Not a fan of tattoos on.
So after this happened, that girl somehow got into contact with the Duke. And the Duke, again, has this weird power. I don't believe in magic or any type of higher power, but there is the curse of the Duke. So the Duke was pissed when this occurred because the Duke loves that girl. I forgot that he was in love with that girl. When I used to talk with him, he would talk about this girl. I forgot her name, actually, but he would talk about her. He wouldn't talk about Kate. He would talk about this girl that he loved. And the curse of the Duke was immediately enacted. And I heard this because we're negotiating in the lawsuit settlement, and I'll get an update for that. The Duke initiated some form of his curse, and apparently this is what I haven't seen yet with regard to what occurred to that guy who was just ridiculing his ex-wife in public. Disgusting display of humanity. And again, women, you have a vested interest in who you mate with. Remember, choose wisely. Choose wisely. That's not the guy you want to mate with.
On the tit.
Rosebud or whatever that was.
I just saw part of it in the mugshot.
So this guy Gino is saying that the girl that John is in love with and his former wife has a tattoo on her chest.
What? Come on. Not say, please. And I can say this because I'm a supermodel. You know, I can judge other people.
Check. Keep your.
What's that? Had to check my text. By the way,
So what happened was that nerdy guy sent a picture of that beautiful girl naked to Gino, and now because there's so many photos that we take, you take photos of your wife naked, she sends you naked photos throughout the day if she's a good wife, and then of course you have the secret account that you're sending your girlfriend on the side. She's most likely sending you more of those pictures, but what the law has said is that we know that guys will be vengeful, and women too. After your relationship ends, you can no longer transmit those images. Yeah, you keep them in a secret file so your wife doesn't find them, but you can no longer transmit them to anyone in most states. You have to check your own state. Don't rely upon me for any legal advice ever, but check your own state law. I believe not every state law has a law against it, but apparently wherever this dope is, they do.
Did you check?
I like tattoos more than I think.
Yeah, and listen, I say I'm anti-tattoo, but then I do find them attractive on women. They're just indicators, especially if someone would put one on you, my God, with like your initial or something like that. I think that's hot.
Boy, didn't do too bad, did he?
Now look, he sends it obviously to brag. It's a brag for him. Remember that instead of getting someone equal to him in terms of a number, let's say he's a 2 or a 3 looking, and then we equate his business, which people are saying is like you would subtract 1. So let's say he's a 2, and he gets a girl that looks like an 8. Well, why is he getting an 8? If she has kids in the past, if she has mental disorder, things like that, it knocks her right down. You have kids, you're divorced, knocks you down. So now he can get this girl temporarily. Eventually she'll be keying your car. She will be filing for a divorce and other crazy things, and it's going to be great. But look how happy and proud he was. So whoever that girl is, he still loves you. He misses you. He's way beneath you if everything was equal. Ceteris paribus. As my good boy Muttering Jay would understand what I'm saying there. If everything else is equal, then he would have no chance with her. That's why he's bragging. That's the only reason why he sent it. He's still in love with you.
Your boy didn't do too bad, did he?
Your boy didn't do too bad, did he? He's bragging. And of course, the best part about cheating is bragging. And the best part about having someone that's way above you in terms of your looks is bragging about it.
Look, it wasn't the best. It wasn't the healthiest decision I've ever made, but goddamn.
So whoever did this video, I believe it was, and I want to give them credit, was Dabblers Anonymous on YouTube. Apparently they have a YouTube channel. Now the curse of the Duke strikes again because the Duke is in love with that girl. You know he likes to white knight. We see how smitten the Duke was for Kate. And it's so cute how John still can't admit that he was in love with that girl and that he was trying to have sex with her. I love that about John Edward. I told him when I first heard those Kate tapes, not the tapes that you heard, other things, where he's just talking with Kate. He's in love with the girl. And John knows how to white knight here. And John did it again. The curse of the Duke is real. And it acts quickly, too. With regard to the lawsuit, it is almost settled. I'll say this. The Duke is going to pay. I mean, he's offering right now to pay something significant. It's not trivial. And I know he came out fighting and swinging yesterday because he feels like in a negotiation, this is hypothetical. Technically, you're not supposed to be talking about, well, you could talk about it. What you can't do is go to a court and say that here is evidence of this guy wanting to settle. I can never bring, nor could he, any settlement negotiations into actual court documents. Everything with regard to settlement has to remain private in terms of the court. I could speak about it, but it doesn't help the case if we actually proceed further. It may settle. I think it's going to settle in principle right now, and now we just got to iron out the smaller details with regard to how the payment is going to be made. But the curse of the Duke is real. I'm hoping that actually in that settlement agreement, I'm going to demand that he will not be allowed to initiate any curse of the Duke against Vince, the lawyer, at all. I'm serious about that. I'm going to have that written in the settlement agreement. So an arrest warrant was issued for this dope. So I guess in whatever state he's located, it's a felony to distribute any type of quote-unquote revenge porn. I once had a case where this Asian girl came to me. It was very uncomfortable because she had a boyfriend record her, and he did it with her knowledge, but then he posted on some weird site. This is like 15 years ago, and I had to review the video with her, and many times after she left, when right in front of her. So that was uncomfortable, but there were no laws back then against this. And now not only are there laws, apparently in this state, you can sue for any type of damages that you occur.